ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Salutations to the Lord, to the Guru Parampara. We will do our Parayanam like every day for 5 minutes. That is today, Tritiya Bhruguvalli Parayanam. Om Tritiya Bhruguvalli Om. Om Sahana Vavato Sahanao Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhrugurvai Varunihi Varunam Pitaramupasasara Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmete Tasma Etat Provacha Annam Pranam Chakshushrotram Manovachamiti Tagam Hovacha Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jathani jivanti yat prayantyapi samvishanti tadvijijñāsasva tad brahmeti satapotapyata satapastaptva annam brahmeti vyajanāt annādhyeva kalvimani bhūtāni jayante अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यपि संविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा प्राणो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् प्राणाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते प्राणेन जातानि जीवन्ति प्राणं प्रयन्त्यपि संविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा मनो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् मनसो ह्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते मनसा जातानि जीवन्ति मनः प्रयन्त्यपि संविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा विज्ञानं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् विज्ञानाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते विज्ञानेन जातानि जीवन्ति विज्ञानं प्रयन्त्यपि संविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा आनन्दो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् आनन्दाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते आनन्देन जातानि जीवन्ति आनन्दं प्रयन्त्यपि संविशन्तीति सैषा भार्गवी वारुणी विद्या परमे व्योमन् प्रतिष्ठिता य एवं वेद प्रतिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Let us chant our Taittiriya Upanishad Shanti Mantram as well as the first three introductory mantrams. Then let us continue our study. Om Atha Shri Krishna Yajurvedantargata Taittiriyaranyakantargata Taittiriya Upanishad Shanti Mantraha. Om Shanno Mitraha Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavato Tadvaktaramavato Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yasmad Jatam Jagat Sarvam Yasmin Eva Praliyate Yene Dandharyate De Chaiva Tasmai Jnanatmane Namaha. Yairime Gurubhi Purvam Padavakya Pramanataha Vyakhyataha Sarva Vedantaha Tan Nityam Pranatosmyaham Taittiriya Kasarasya Mayacharya Prasadataha Vispashtartharuchinam hi Vyakhyayam Sampraniyate. Hari Om. In this introductory Bhashyam, what Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji is trying to bring to our cognition and notice is moksha is achieved by Brahma Vidya. In the Brahma Vidya, where the moksha is achieved, as a result of which we get Brahma Ananda or Atma Anubhuti or Brahma Atma Eka Bodha. It has exclusively a different process of preparing ourselves inside, preparing ourselves to become fit, to go to the Guru, and from the Guru, about that Brahma Vidya, we have to do the Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, till the Anubhava of the Atma, Anubhava of the Brahma, and Anubhava of the Brahma Atma Ekata comes to us. This is what is tried, experienced by the great saints, and then they said this is a state of liberation, moksha, mukti. Now, if you have heard this properly, what is it just now? It has totally a different effort, different preparation, different approach altogether, opposite to which are our present lives, of totally continuously into a different world with a different purpose, with a different equipment, with a different full plan of action, wherein all our entire mind, intellect, our faculties are totally involved in thinking, working only in the field of karma, karma phala. And throughout it is done, every life. Thereby, we ourselves are denying an opportunity of our own self to know the truth and get liberated. So, in this first portion, Bhagavan Shankara is answering to all of them and saying that it is all good for you to do the Nitya Karma, Naimitika Karma, Upasana Karma, the Prayaschitta Karma. Very good that when you have reduced your Kamya Karma and also you are so wise, disciplined that you have avoided the Nishiddha Karma. All that is done very well. But where is the subject of Paramatma in this? Where is the discussion about the self in that? You are doing everything okay here, but by this mukti will not come. Mukti will come when consciously, when we put effort And consciously we succeed in that effort of knowing and identifying with ourselves. What is the Swarupa of the self? What is the Prakriya to know the self? What are the qualifications to know the self? We have not brought that subject at all here, like love. No, love is not a word, it is an experience. Go on writing a words of love, love, love on a paper, or even utter with the mouth, love, love, love. Will that love happen? How many ever of number of lives we try? Love is an experience in our own heart. First, you have to feel for it, you have to think about it. What is the meaning of prema? Why it has to be expressed? And then consciously, when we know and bring out that emotion of prema without any expectation or swartha, then you will have the joy of it. You understood what is love. Is it not? In the same way, the mukti is an anubhava that is eternally there in us in the form of our own self. That has to be experienced. I am mukta is not a thought. I am mukta is not an understanding, because thought and understanding will not help. Ayam Mukta is an anubhava which we have to establish. Further, the entire process is different. And that process is what is a theme in all the Brahma Vidya, in all the Upanishads, in all the Gurukula where the Tattva is taught. You have to enter into that zone, that field, that way of lifestyle from what we are living now. Now, what we are living now, life, it is fetching us so many things of this world or even the other world, but not the mukti. Therefore, neither with these activities which we are living, the mukti will come, and unless we transcend these things and enter into the process by which the Atma Gnana and Mukti come, we have to enter into. Unless that is done, the final emancipation will not come. But what our minds say, it is always happy in whatever it is doing, and it is always hesitant to take up a new initiative. What our mind says, it always tries to find some excuse and justification for what not to start this process of moksha through the shravana of the Brahma Vidya followed by Manana Nididhyasa. That's a trend. That's all. Like the child, after 2.5 years, he was so happily playing at home. Suddenly, you send him into a school where you have to reach in time, you have to wear your proper dress. उसको अच्छा लगता ही नहीं, doesn't want to go. Is it not? So to the youngster, आवारा घूम रहा है वो. Suddenly उसको नौकरी दिला के go to the office on time, do all the work, he doesn't like it. Somehow he'll have to get habituated because there's no way. In the same way, this new way of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana appears to be heavy, cumbersome, etc. Second is what? How nicely I was involving in my own karma. Such a wonderful ideas people are giving. I am getting the idea. I am then planning properly, implementing them. See, I am getting the things also. I am getting the wealth, money. I am exchanging it for the objects. They are giving me the sukha. Then the people around I have, I am so much lovingly with them. They are also equally to me. We are together celebrating. तो इतना मजा मजा लग रहा है कि नहीं. So this we don't want to leave. That's how a sort of both ways the settlement the mind is in. We don't want to take up that one. We don't want to give up this. But unless you give it up, unless you take up that, the clarity of the self in theory as well as meditation and the experience which leads to the moksha won't come to you. Some people, those who never want moksha at all, for them तो ये subject नहीं है. Somebody, those who want liberation, the final happiness, the permanent happiness, to them, when we have to tell them Brahma Vidya, still they are in their own earlier obsessions or their own conditionings of the mind of whatever they were doing earlier. So that's what Bhaja Govindam, Dukrum Karane, everything other than Brahma Vidya is Dukrum Karane, Sannite Kale Samprapte, Dukrum Karane Nahi Rakshati. So it is Guru's job to explain to the disciple, but you have to change from that lifestyle of focusing only on karma to the Atma Vidya, and it is in your own interest. It is only beneficial to you. It will lift you from your lower identity to the higher identity, from the falsehood to the truth, from the binding to the liberation. So you have to do it. Nobody else can do it for you. For you to do, you have to prepare, you have to be ready. We will give you the information, taking which you contemplate on yourself and find in yourself that conviction. Like I have to find my conviction in my life that unless I come out of my routine and enter into this new routine of Brahma Vidya Shravana Mananidhi Dhyasana, I'll not be able to experience the Brahma Tattva, which is Mukti Swarupa. This is whose conviction? Not of the book, not of the guru. It will not help. It should come to me. Then I only effortlessly I withdraw from this earlier routine and involve in the new one with inspiration. These both are when you want the eternal happiness, the moksha sthiti. If you are happy with the karma phala of this world and other world, then involve in the karma. That's everybody is doing. We have no objection if you are in the samsara. If you continue, it is your choice. After all, it's your life. But if at all you say, is there any permanent happiness, effortless happiness, any limitlessness, unconditional being, as a hai, to we say it is there. That's why the Upanishad, Brahmavida apnoti param. See, Brahmavid alone apnoti param. The Upanishad it will say that is there. Okay, and it is not said out of hat. All the rishis, munis have done this practice as taught by their gurus through Shravana Manana Nidhyasanam. They have experienced the Atma and they know now they are the substratum of everything, the unchangeable, unmutable, undying. He is the my own essential nature now. None of these upadhis are mine, nor I need to become Jiva, nor I am a part and parcel of all the Jagra Samna Sushupti. To that highest experience they have entered into. Such Mahatmas, such Rishis are speaking that. So, on the authority of that Shastra and that Guru, we have to lift our identity from this type of activity into this exclusively. Then you will go slowly. So, here this Purva Pakshi or the disciple is in his own mind of while managing what I am doing, can I go for Brahma Vidya? बट गुरु will have to say बेटा तुम वेकिंग में रहते हुए टीवी देखते हुए यू वांट टू एंटर इनटू द स्लीप दोनों नहीं हो सकते they are exclusive to each other therefore if you want one you have to sacrifice the other if you are enjoying tv you can't sleep you want sleep you have to put it off as much exclusive they are so much your life of karma your life of jnana they are exclusive to each other they are all pratiyogi they are opposite to each other they are called so that's what he is trying to say. In the first portion, he himself spoke some introduction. Basing on that, the disciple got some questions or doubts. To that, he went on giving the answers. So, what was the subject? It started in the introductory bhashya. He up to the sixth chapter of this Taittiriya Aranyaka, Nitya Karma and Kamya Karma are exhaustively told. Now, that root of the karma, which will bind us to the karma binds to karma phala binds us to samsara. And what is binding us to the karma? Whatever that root of the karma, here to remove that, the Brahma Vidya is told. That's how he started. Then what is the cause of the karma? Kamana is the one which propelling one to do the karma. Therefore, as long as you are having kamana, you will involve only in the karma. Karma will bind with the karma phala of janma marana. So that's how Guru started telling her. Then he gave a hypothesis. What is the hypothesis? He said, suppose all the kamanas are fulfilled. Therefore, there is no kama pravritti. Therefore, the mind is absolutely still. Then he can focus and know the Atma. Atma being infinite experience, there is no more desire, there is no more karma, again there is no bondage. So the cycle of it. When you drop the kamana and pursue Atma Jnana, when you get the Atma Anubhava, it is being infinite bliss, you will not have any desire. There are no more, you are bound into the karma and karma phala. So, the two things very importantly said here are one, Atma Kamitve Apta Kamatvam. Second is Atma Hi Brahma. These two are Guru's standpoint. We have not come to that standpoint. We have to have faith in his words and then we have to follow it. There is no other way. What it says, Atma Kamitve Apta Kamitva means only when the desire of self is entertained and the desire of self is fulfilled in discovery of the self, that all the desires are achieved, or all the desires are fulfilled, or all the desires are given up, or all the desires are transcended. Atmakamitve aptakamitvam. Only one answer I can give you for all your questions. How, why? Because Atma hi Brahma. The self is the infinite Brahma. And what is Brahma? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. It will be told in this Upanishad. In many other Upanishads already, Brahma Tattva is explained as Anubhava, Nitya Nirantara Anubhava Rupa. Ananda Rupa Anubhava. It was already said. So Atma being Brahma, Brahma being infinitely blissful, having attained that bliss, there will be no need of any bliss to be desired for. Therefore, there is no kamana possible. There is no kamana janita karma. Therefore, of the karma, the kamana is a cause that is eliminated by apta kamata. How? By atma kama fulfillment. How? By discovering our Brahmanubhuti. If this is not done, if the Brahmatma Bodha is not done through the Shravana Manidhyasana, which is the theme of the Upanishad, then we'll continuously be in the same world of having some kavana, doing some karma. To get that karma phala, you go to that or this place. Like in the bank, you fill up the form and give it there, he will give you a coin. You sit there and the cashier will call you here. You go there and give the token number, he gives the amount. सेम बैंक में कर्म इधर होता है, कर्म फल इधर. This is how the thesis. Think once, think twice, think 3, 4, 5 times, and try to understand for yourself. And one thing is what he has said: Atma hi Brahma, tad vidaha hi parapraptim vakshati. Only when the Brahma with one becomes that he has achieved the para, that is moksha. That's what we said. Brahmavida apnoti param is what is going to be spoken in the future mantras of the Upanishad. Therefore, ataha, now, what is the entire Upanishad's topic is ataha avidya nivruttau swa atmani avasthanam paraprapti. Through the Atma Vidya, when the avidya is removed, as a result of removal of avidya, when we get established in our own Atma Anubhava, that Atma being eternal, it is called as Brahma, that is called Paraprapti. It has to be thought many times to get the essence of it, to the point, to reach to the point. Then, Avayam Pratishtam Vindate ityadi quotations are given. So, the one field of life is, where is I as a jiva have my antakarana, have a kamana, then I have the outer and inner upadhis and resources. Through that I do the karma, and the karma phala is given to me. To enjoy that karma phala, I have to go to that loka and get into those systems of upadhis, whatever they may. This is one. All of that is valid, all of that is done, but that ananda is not shashvata. You are still bound there in your own mind with kamana. And you have to do the karma to get the fulfillment, because once the kamana is there, it will not allow you to be free. It will make you restless, like we said yesterday in our Bhagavatam also. The other side is what? You are just withdrawing from all these karma phala asakti, therefore the karma asakti, therefore kamana in the mind. We have withdrawn from all of that, then we are focusing only on the truth, the reality, the substratum. What exactly is the one from where the entire universe is coming? From the from where I myself am expressing, or what is my essential nature, or all these upadhis at one time when they were not there, let's say in sleep, when I wake up, where are they coming from? Where were they? They are all. So these are all the inquiry when are done. Then the Guru gives the technique of understanding about the truth. When you follow that, pursue that, then that is discovered. These are the two things that are mentioned. These same two things in the Katha Upanishad mentioned in the form of Preyomarga and Shreyomarga. In Gita, Jayati Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana, this is Karma Yoga, this is Buddhi Yoga. भगवत गीता में उस लैंग्वेज में बताया. There is Kshetra Jnanam, there is Kshetragna Jnanam. This is about Apara Prakriti, Para Prakriti. This is Paramatma who is beyond the Prakriti. In different textbooks, in different ways said. All of that we are studying in Telugu in our Vedanta Dindima. All these Vedantic ideas are coming. We are in 12th mantra, 60, 70 more mantras are there, in which every Upanishad is covered. Any of the Vedanta Grantha Prakriyas are covered in that small looking text. That is genius of Shankara Bhagavan. As he brought all quotations of all Shastras in giving commentary to Vishnu Sahasranama, so too about Brahma Tattva, whatever is said in all Shastra, he brought and put in that text, Vedanta Dindima, we are seeing. In that also this comes. So what we are seeing here, there are the two ways. This one, this one. Now still he is not satisfied. Therefore he is talking about all the involvement in the karma only. So the first parame, the first question of it is, okay, I will drop all this, I will manage all this. Then without effort, the Atma Jnana should come to me. This is what another imagination one sadhaka will have. So this sadhaka little matured. He says these karmas, nitya karma, kamya karma, then nishidha karma, have managed. Then the atma should be obvious to me. No. By managing them, you only remove the obstruction. That is not enough for Atmanubhuti. Atmanubhuti requires the positive sadhana of Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. You understand? This must be done. Atmavare drashtavya how shotavyo mantavyo nididhyasitavya. So he doesn't want to do that. But at least from involving in this karma kshetra, I will withdraw by managing the karma kshetra. Up to that level he came. But he wants to have Atma Jnana without this process of Sravana Manana Adi. It won't happen. In exclusive case of total surrender to the Lord in the bhakti, okay, Bhagavan will enter into our heart. He says, I will light the Atma Jnana to you. But that उस समय भी तुमको आँख खोल के देखना ही पड़ेगा ना. You can't say it will happen by itself. It is you yourself will have to open the eyes and see the self. I will light it. I will give the opportunity there. Dadami Buddhi Yogam. I will give them Buddhi Yoga. The Buddhi Yoga is the study of Upanishad only. Yena Mahampayantite. Then with the devotion, with the Buddhi given, when does the Buddhi Yoga of Sravana Manana Nidhyasana, to that person only, Ajnanajam Tamaham Nashayami, Atma Bhavasta Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. By lighting the Jnana Deepa, I will remove the Ajnana to that person. The one who is using his Buddhi Yoga, which is given by me because of his regular Upasana to me. So when I do Upasana of the Lord, He will give me Buddhi Yoga. With Buddhi Yoga, when I study Shastra, then He will light the Atma Jnanam and He gives me. Pictorially, you can. That's the meaning of the slokas in the 10th chapter. In case if you ask like that. But other than that, it is I who is given my intellect. I, we have to go to the Guru. I'll have to ask him the right question. When he is giving the answer to that question about the Paramatma, the Lakshana of the Paramatma, the method of reaching Paramatma, the qualification for Paramatma, I have to imbibe them. So Guru simply says, Tattvamasi, that is the experience when you get moksha. So, sir, how do I do that, sir? On the meditation. What qualifies me for meditation, sir? The contemplation. What qualifies me for contemplation, sir? The reflection, mananam. What qualifies me for mananam, sir, is your listening of this meaning, the sentence with padartha, vakyartha again and again. But what qualifies me for that, sir? Your quietness of mind and senses. How it is gained by your own shamadamadi. How do I do my shamadama when you have vairagya? How do you do the vairagya when you have the viveka? See the process. That is a, though we don't take it seriously or don't study thoroughly, but this is a straight, direct, perfect path above, other than which there is no other way. We have to do viveka, we have to get vairagya. After viveka vairagya also it is not sufficient. We have to do the shama of the control of the mind through various upasana and japadi, and you have to do the control of the indriyas called as dhamma by self-discipline. After that only, whatever the world inflicts to me, I will not involve in that. That is called as uparama and titiksha. Then the intense longing for knowing the truth is called shraddha. Then always trying how to know the truth is called samadhanam. After all this preparation, when I go to the Guru with mumukshuta, I want to get the self and get liberated, then the Guru takes up the Upanishad and teaches to us. Whether it is the teaching, whether maybe Panchakosha Viveka, which we are studying in this Upanishad, whether it may be the Avasthatraya Sakshitva, which we studied in the Mandukya Upanishad, whether it is Atmanatma Viveka, Jada Chetana Viveka, Nitya Anitya Viveka, Aneka Eka Viveka, each of the Upanishad takes one or these Viveka to reach to us, to tell us to reach to the self. So in Katha Upanishad, the subject was what is temporary, what is permanent. He asked, after the death, will I continue? Yeah, you as a self continues. Other than the self, whatever you are there, the body is dropped. But Jiva continues till he knows the self. When the self is known, even Jiva Bhava also goes away. So that topic was discussed in Katha Upanishad. In the Kena Upanishad, the focus is on the subject which is illuminating the objects, even of the senses, etc. Yet chakshusana pashyati, ena chakshugumshi pashyati, in that way. So each of the Upanishad is giving us the technique. And any technique you take up, you can reach out to the truth or the self. When that is experienced, that alone, there is nothing other than that to bind. So that is how it is. The Guru will teach. Now here in his question we saw yesterday, Kamya Pratisiddhayoho Anarambhat. Okay. By your guidance, Prasiddha Karma, Kamya Karma, I dropped. Then Arabdasya Upabhagena Kshayat. All the prarabdha is finishing because I am going through silently without reaction. Upabhog kar raha hu, kshaya ho jayega uska. Nitya anushthanena. I will not avoid my nitya karma. I do the nitya as anusthana. Therefore, pratyavaya dosha, pratyavaya abhavat. There is no sin of omission because what you have to do the nitya karma. If you don't do, there is a sin. A part of the nitya karma also, or your own dharma karma. Your dharma is not the only nitya karma. In the nitya karma, one part is dharma. Dharma is your duty to earn your livelihood, your duty to sustain your identity. That's a part of nitya karma. Done. Pratyavaya dosh nahi hai because I am doing it. Because if you don't do what you are supposed to do, you get the sin of omission. And pratyavaya is dukkha rupa. It means give dukkha. Pratyavaya means inner guilt also that I have not done what I have done. I have to do. And the outside also the world will not accept it. आज मैं ऑफिस नहीं गया, that is pratyavaya dukkha. He has not come to office, so I'll remove his salary for one day. That is a dukkha from outside coming because of this pratyavaya dosha of not going to office, means not doing the nitya karma. That is avoided because I am not avoiding nitya karma. So pratyavaya bhavat ayat. Therefore, when these three are achieved, prarabdha is exhausted, nitya is being done, kamya nishiddha are dropped, then ayatnata eva atmani avasthana moksha. Then effortlessly I must establish in the self called as moksha. This is what he is expecting. This is the Purva Pakshis version. ऐसा मैं करना चाहता हूँ. होगा क्या? Guru will say नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. You have to consciously do the Shravana Mananam. Then only the avidya regarding the self goes away. And the not self's attachments which we have long from so many lives that can be transcended. In that quiet mood only, the apprehension of the self as an experience comes. वो बताना चाहते हैं गुरु आगे. तो उसके लिए पहले प्रश्न ये समझना है. This is the question. Then another option he gave was कि अथवा निरतिशयायाः प्रीतेः स्वर्गशब्दवाच्यायाः कर्म हेतुत्वात्. See, niratishaya priti is there for everyone in the about when they listen about Swarga. Because in Swarga everything is free, everything is excellent, wonderful joy. There is no struggle for anything. वहाँ कोई लाइन में खड़ा होने का नहीं जरूरत पड़ता है. They do not pay a bill anywhere. Nothing, no bill is given, no effort is put. Everything is free. Therefore, you are in moksha only. Therefore, that moksha of Swarga, it is his version. Huh? Swarga is not moksha. He doesn't know that once the punya is over, you are kicked back. He is just thinking that Swarga is like moksha and all punya karmas lead to Swarga. Therefore, karma hetutvad, karma bhya eva moksha iti chet. So, through involving in all sat karma, punya karma, if I get moksha, which is Swarga, he says, you will get Swarga, but Swarga is not moksha. Why? Because it will start, therefore it will end. Moksha never starts, never ends. It's always there. It is always there. You have to awaken yourself to that identity. You have to realize it. You have to discover it. That's it. सर के लिए काम करना पड़ता है, खत्म होने के बाद वापस, बट वो ऐसा नहीं है, ऑलरेडी है. यू हैव टू जस्ट जंप इनटू दैट विथ आइडेंटिटी. नाउ द सिद्धांत गिव आंसर. सी दिस विल अगेन लिटिल बिट ओनली सी कि it is not as easy as you are thinking, that you are easily able to exhaust your prarabdha karma and do your nitya karma and avoid the nishiddha and kamya karma. ऐसा नहीं होता हो. You understand? Unless you get kicks from the people, I'm just telling clarity from other sources. Unless we get the kicks from the world, is it not? Unless we are punished from the world and we suffer that kicking and punishment, it is not easy to give up the Nishiddha karma. Otherwise, people are not getting punishment sufficiently, therefore, they are doing Nishiddha karma of all sorts. They are getting dukha later on, but वो लोग lightly ले रहे हैं. So it's not as easy as you say in the word कि निषिद्ध मैं छोड़ दूंगा. So you have to put an effort. And how do you say anayasena? Then unless the kamana for the atma vastu, listen carefully, is intensified, the other kamanas cannot be given up easily. Then how can you say that I can give up kamya karma? You are not understanding that the kamana can come in any form. It will come in the form of obligation. It will come in the form of duty. It will come in the form of service. It will come in the form of dharma. You will never understand कि इस रूप में कामना भी है. Every action is prompted by kama only actually. Therefore, only that's what he said. Atma kamana alone can remove all other kamana. Consequently, the kamya karma. You didn't have this, but you just say मैं सारे काम्य कर्म छोड़ दूंगा. ऐसा नहीं होता हो. You may be saying to me for the argument's sake. The Guru is telling disciple. But unless it is done, it won't happen. निषिद्ध काम्य का ये स्थिति है. Now you spoke about प्रारब्ध. It's not that प्रारब्ध को भोग से मैं क्षय करूंगा, खत्म हो गया, आत्मा आ जाए. Oh my dear, from how many janmas, by doing how many karma in your sanchita, how many of the karmas you have included, nobody can say them. Out of them, some only are expressing in this life. Many more yet to be fructified. For that, we have to go through so many lives. So, how easily you say that I will exhaust my prarabdha? By exhausting prarabdha, all things will be over. You are not remembering, you have forgotten that the prarabdha which you said you will exhaust are only a part of the sanchita, which is infinite. So much uncalculable. And what is your imagination? Let all the prarabdha, let all the sanchita be given to me in one life. I will exhaust them through one life's prarabdha. It is not possible. Mainly because of quantity, secondly because of variety, thirdly because of the opposite things. So many quantity of the sanchita, so much of variety of sanchita, so much of the opposite of the sanchita cannot be exhausted in one life. We gave yesterday the man-woman example as well as the bird and fish example. You remember? If in your prarabdha, you have, in your sanchita, you have the flying like a bird, that is there prarabdha. वो जब पक्षी शरीर में जाओगे तभी होगा वो. So too, if you have the prarabdha to be in the water, fish, both of them cannot be in one life. Therefore, you have to anyway go through. One example, like that, how many may be there? Can you say it easily? You don't know. I'm telling you, with my prarabdha, I may be born in Amazon or forest for one life. I'll be in some Trinidad, in some other country, I may be born. I may have to be born in different religions, different yoni, I may be buffalo for one life. ऐसे संस्कार है. तो इट में भी खटमल मच्छर ऑल्सो. इफ आई ओनली खून पीसते रहते हो सबका चूजिंग, देन आई विल बी मेड एज मच्छर फॉर वन लाइफ, बिकॉज दैट्स जॉब इज ओनली टू गेट द खून. Is it not? Even in human also, I can be in any work. Manushya ka janm liya, but taking in the Brahmana in Hindu life with all the scriptural availability, Guru availability is a very rarity. That's why Shankara Bhagavan says in Vivek Chudamani, Jantunam Narajanam Durlamata Pumsam Tato Viprata Tasmad Vaidika Dargmarga Bharata. That's why I'm saying you and I, as born in India as a Hindu, coming at the feet of Gurudev, and with the good samskaras given with the parents, is a rarer than the rarest thing which we have to use for Adhyatmic sadhana. Otherwise, you see the people in the world, around your own family, in your own house, how many are struggling for food, struggling for survival, and running in the world for outer achievements, never have a mind for little also of spirituality. And if you see the people in other countries, etc., absolutely unaware of all these things. Are we not better than them this way, that we are given such inclination, such mind, such ability also to study शास्त्र etc. दूसरों को सुनाओ भाग जाएंगे, आपके घर के लोगों को बोलो बैठने को, they can't. So that way we are better placed. So we have to use this opportunity which may not come to us if our prarabdha takes us to that type of life whom we are now blaming just now. Blaming means just finding how they are. ऐसा वाला जीवन मिला हमको, can we do? See, if in my prarabdha I have to become an MLA, if that is there in next life, by being MLA, I'll be running in the world only from gully to all people and do namaskar to them and beg them to give me the vote and taking care of their. How can I do Vedanta then? It may be good, useful service there, but it is also binding. How much ever you do, you are always away from your liberating self. No? As a kya kya, you don't know. That is why this very life, this few next years, whatever maximum spiritual sadhana we do, that alone is going to help us more. This consciously we have to do. It won't happen by itself. I have to take up study of Upanishad for myself and do mananam, do chintanam, do dhyanam. For that, I have to manage my mind with all japa tapa. I have to manage my health with disciplined food. तो कौन करेगा अपने लिए, मैं नहीं करूँ तो? See that how much in non-understanding, non-thinking, ignorance and stubbornness we continue our life with all the opportunities. This is, by the way, we are saying. This is not in the discussion, but it is a corollary. You can understand that also. Why it is said that this human life, you have to use it for the best of purpose. So here he is answering, Beta anek hai, opposite hai. So all sanchita you can't exhaust in one life. So you have to have so many lives also. So don't imagine that just like that it will happen to you. What is the meaning here, therefore, by saying Shankar Bhagavan is sab kyun keh rahe? Therefore, he is not denying the world of activity. He says, do them to exhaust all your vasanas and all the prarabdha as long as it takes, but simultaneously understand that none of them will give you moksha. Simultaneously understand that moksha happens only by the Atma Prapti, Brahma Prapti. And Brahma and Atma Prapti will happen only through the Shravana Mana Nidhyasana of the Tattva, through the Upanishad under the guidance of the Guru. इसको accept करके ये भी start करो. Then you go on increasing this, go on getting reduced of it. So it may take 10, 20, 30, 40 lives. So his purpose of Shankara Bhagavan's his Bhashya purpose is not to enhance the speed of our realization. He only wants to give the clarity कि इसका क्या level है, इसका क्या purpose है. Then how we have to mutually negotiate with each other and be in a pakka manner, do your sadhana. Even if he says कि through Shravana Mana Nidhyasana you get mukti, everybody is not immediately fit for Shravana, no? He'll have to become pure in his antakarana. And that is done only through the Karma Yoga and Upasana. It goes without saying. But what his point is what? Without the due sadhana of the moksha, without rising above these three, you want to become mukta, it will not happen. That's what he says. In that, specially what he says, unless you shift your gear consciously from the karma kshetra to atma gnana kshetra, you will never be liberated for millions of lives. You only will be a karta bhokta jiva with doing the kamya karma and getting the phala in different bodies. That is what is happening to us. Right from the day we are born till now, we never attended to atma gnana. Then what did we do? That's what he is saying. You only had your kamana or duty or nitya karma. इसी में करते जा रहे हैं. And this is not the first time. Like last 2000 million lives you are doing same. If now you don't understand and shift your attention towards this little slow by slowly, it will continue for million lives like that only. Same way will be born next life, even a human. Again, you go to school, college, whatever will be there at that time. If you are born after 10,000 years, उस समय क्या होगा एजुकेशन सिस्टम नहीं पता. Then same way I'll enter the job, get married, children, same will continue, which is totally away from mukti, giving atma jnana. That's what all are doing. That's what we were also doing. Among that, we may be touched by, blessed by, graced by any Guru Maharaj, any saint. Therefore, in this life, we just are having an interest to listen. It's only a beginning. It's only sowing the seed. But you have to see that it comes out and becomes a tree and gives fruits. There he is encouraging us. So this Sambandha Bhashya has so many pahalus to understand and help ourselves. So all of that should tell me, therefore, that I must exhaust all these karmas in a proper manner. Along with that, I must also involve in Shravana Mana Nidhyasana about the Atmavastu. Shravana, Guru karayenge class mein. Mana Nidhyasana you have to do. Till the self is experienced. And always remember, only Atma Jnana gives mukti. And always remember, it is done in the state of meditation. It has nothing to do with the karma, where the Jiva Bhava, Jagat Satyatva, and some upadhis and the activities, when all of them are valued, which is always actually mithya, according to Mandukyadi, they are all the manaspandana only. No, I'll not club this and that to make it heavy to you. This object, whenever it comes, that time we discuss. सिर्फ टच कर रहे हैं. All that is you are in delusion only. Any number of punya karma you do, any number of tirtha yatra you do, you are still in dream only you are doing. All those dream karma phala has nothing to do with your waking. Waking is a different level of mukti altogether. Is it not? You will do different pilgrimages in the dream. That type of ananda will come to you. You may do upasana also. The upasana phala bhi aayega aapko. But it has nothing to do waking. Waking is something always different from that. It is more higher, deeper, real than the dream imagination. In the same way, this field always looks to be interesting, looks to be enchanting because of habits, because of some pleasures, definitely. तो ये अच्छा लगने लगता ही है. आपको दिमाग लगा के सोचना है. अच्छा लगना और अच्छा होना में फर्क है. Something looking good and something good, there's different, no? The spirituality is good, the world is looking good. You have to think and know. Then add to this our evening Bhagavata class where Bhikshu Gita, how he told about the Artha and Kama, and both of them how they tarnish our life or how they persecute us. Artha will make us do 15 papa, and to do get the Artha, how it is giving us so many types of difficulties, he has proved to us. Artha and Kama go together. वो वाला भी यूज करके ये वाला भी यूज करके what we have to do is our minds have to come to this conviction that slowly I have to withdraw from all these and slowly enter into my only Shravana of the Upanishad in which Brahma Vidya is given. Then only I have to do the manana of that. In that manana only the ignorance or the avidya goes away and the Vidya of the Atma happens. So through Atma Vidya, when the avidya is gone, after the avidya goes, when the Atma Anubhava comes, that Atma is discovered to be the Brahma, then you are Mukta. This is what the saint sages experienced. Therefore, so much audacity and authority they have to tell us through Upanishads and all other Vedanta Granthas. So this is what he said. Karma Shesha Sadbhava Siddhicha. This topic is explained to you. You can't exhaust all Sanchita in one life. There are variety, there are opposite nature. Therefore, whatever in this life you will go through, but for the sake of remaining things, Shesha Karma Nimitta Sharirarambha Upapatti, the new Shariras will come. You can't avoid it. Overnight नहीं हो सकता. ऐसा मत सोचो. Matlab, he is not denying that unless you exhaust your sanchita, you will not know the truth. But he says in one life you can't do that. But there is an option in Vedanta. What's that? In this life, while going through Prarabdha, If you can put your deep efforts to know the truth under the guidance of Guru with your own commitment and discipline, the realization of self will happen simultaneously. The all Sanchita becomes burnt. That facility is there. Prarabdha anyway you go through. Agami will be not there because only a Jiva does the karma for Agami Phala. He is no more a Jiva, he is established in Atmanubhuti. There is no Karta in him to do a karma for Agami. Agami means in this life, whatever I do as a Karta, some karma, whatever the Phala I have to get tomorrow in the further lives, that is called as Agami. New addition is Agami. Sanchita is before this life. From so many lives, whatever I have done, all that accumulated. Out of that, whatever is expressed in this life, it is called as prarabdha. तो आगामी से कुछ प्रारब्ध बनता है, प्रारब्ध के समय कर्म करने से कुछ नया सॉरी संचित से आगामी from the sanchita the prarabdha come while going through prarabdha. If you are not pursuing the atma jnana, but as a jiva when you are doing some karma as a karta, it becomes agami, gets added to sanchita. और उसमें से whatever is more fructifying, more urgency is there for expression, that will come out. That's why I said, in this life I may be Brahmana, like that Bharata. He was a great Raja and was doing such a great sadhana, but the predominant samskaras in him were to become a deer. So he died as that sadhaka, be born as a deer. See, इसका कोई संबंध ही नहीं है, लेकिन his vasana was like that he had to be born like that. Ours also will be like that. Therefore, neither have any asha nor have any nirasha. Only have the knowledge and act accordingly. What is the asha nirasha? Ki that means next life it will be 10 times better than this. कोई आशा मत रखो. वर्ष होएगा क्या वो भी मत रखो. क्या करें? नो दैट जो आएगा हमको झेलना पड़ेगा. बट फिलहाल जो है राइट नो वॉट एवर हैव लेट मी मेक बेस्ट यूज ऑफ इट. Focus in the present. You are alive for today. So what you can do today, you do it. That's it. Don't even worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow फिर जिंदा है भगवत कृपा से फिर कहीं वही करेंगे कल भी. I do like that only. Every day I get up morning. अच्छा जिंदा हूँ चलो let us go for Upanishad class. And nothing is taught. The whole day 5-6 classes study. अब कोई सूझ ही नहीं रहा मेरे को. And nobody is calling. प्रधानमंत्री मुख्यमंत्री बोल फोन ही नहीं कर रहे मुझे पूछने को कि बताओ अब कैसे क्या डिसीजन लेवे. पहले करते थे वो लोग. It's so interesting. Now the new text comes. Ishtanishta phalanam anarabdhanam kshayarthani nityani shed. No. This is a very interesting thing here. For the exhaustion of all the sanchita or this nitya karma, if you say so, see ishtanishta phalanam anarabdhanam. Anarabdha means other than the arabdha. Other than the arabdha, what is there are sanchita only. So anarabdha, arabdha and agami. These are the three karmas we should remember. That anarabdha itself is called sanchita. So if sanchita karma can get destroyed by the nitya karma, if you say, when I do nitya karma, the sanchita should get exhausted. He says no. Akarane pratyavaya shravanatu. No, these are all very deep thoughts. What it is कि अकरणे प्रत्यवाय श्रवणात् प्रत्यवाय शब्दो हि अनिष्ट विषयः नित्य अकरण निमित्तस्य प्रत्यवायस्य दुःखरूपस्य आगामिनः पर्यार्थानि नित्यानि इति अभ्युगमात् न अनारब्ध फल कर्म क्षयार्थानि. There are two versions are said in this shloka which are very deep, is very trickish one. Try to understand. What is the meaning of nitya karma? Is that karma when it is not done, it will lead to pratyavaya, dosha, sin of omission. So nitya karmas are those when they are done, there is no benefit given. When they are not done, it will lead to sin of omission. A papa, what is to be done, not done, that wala sin. This is how the nitya karmas are defined in various shastra. They are not for exhausting your all the sanchita karma. संचित कर्म को खत्म करने का कैपेसिटी नित्य कर्म में नहीं है. नित्य कर्म में आगामी प्रत्यवाय दोष को अवॉइड करने के लिए ही ये नित्य कर्म किया जाता है. This is one thing you keep. That's what he said. Nitya akarana nimittasya, when you don't do nitya karma, pratyavayasya, the pratyavaya will come, dukkha rupasya, it is of the nature of dukkha, uh, uh, which will be in the future, agaminaha, pariharatani nityani. To remove that, today I have to do my duty. I have to do today duty, so that if I don't do duty today, tomorrow I will suffer. To avoid that suffering, today I have to do duty. It has nothing to do with the yesterday wala. पर्याहार्थानि नित्यानि इति अभ्युगमात् न अनारब्ध फल कर्म क्षयार्थीनि अर्थानि therefore अनारब्ध मीन संचित कर्म का क्षय के लिए ये नित्य कर्म नहीं होते हैं. This is one thought you have to keep. Now, second one is what? Yadinama, even if you say the anarabdha kshaya is done by the nitya karma, which is not accepted, but for a point of argumentation or just to be in line with you, answer is what? Ki tathapi ashuddham eva kshapayeyuhu na shuddham. We saw yesterday. Only the ashuddha portion of the anarabdha or sanchita karma will be destroyed by the nitya karma, not the shuddha. बिकॉज शुद्ध कर्म या पुण्य कर्म का फल भोगने के लिए तो हमने वो किया था, तो ये और ये ऑपोजिट नहीं है. ऑपोजिट है तो ही निकाल देगा वो. लाइक द डर्ट इज ऑपोजिट सोप, देन ओनली सोप विल रिमूव डर्ट. डर्ट विल नॉट रिमूव द डर्ट, सोप विल नॉट रिमूव द सोप. इज इट नॉट? सोप लगा रहे हैं और सोप निकालने को, या डर्ट लगा रहे हैं और डर्ट लगाने को नहीं होता. यू पुट डिटर्जेंट टू रिमूव दैट dirt there because they are opposite. So what is said, why is it so? यदि नाम अनारब्ध कर्म क्षयार्था नित्यान कर्माणि तथापि अशुद्धमेव क्षपयेयुः न शुद्धम. why? विरोध अभावात्. there is no virodha to the nitya karma with the shuddha karma, but there is a virodha to the nitya karma to the ashuddha karma. So nitya karma may exhaust ashuddha karma, not the shuddha. now nahi ishtafalasya karmanah शुद्ध रूपत्वात् नित्य ही विरोध उपपद्यते. सो द इष्ट कर्म, इष्ट फल कर्म मतलब आपने कुछ अच्छे फल पाने के लिए कुछ शुभ कर्म पुण्य आदि किया है. सो व्हेन इट इज डन, इट इज सच ए गुड एक्टिविटी. व्हाई द नित्य कर्म विल न्यूट्रलाइज इट? सी आफ्टर ईटिंग द फूड यू वॉश द वेसल, बट नॉट व्हेन द फूड इज कुक्ड, दैट फूड यू थ्रो इट एंड वॉश वेसल. ऐसा थोड़ी करते हैं. बिकॉज द फूड इज इष्ट रूपा. वो खाने के बाद then the dirtness of the vessel is anishta rupa. For that you use the water to wash it in that way. So शुद्ध अशुद्धयो ही विरोध युक्तः. अरे दोनों शुद्ध दोनों अशुद्ध विरोध नहीं होते हैं, शुद्ध एंड अशुद्ध का ही विरोध होता है. So the शुद्ध नित्य कर्म will remove the अशुद्ध of the sanchita only. It will not remove the शुद्ध. Therefore, half only will be eliminated, not the other. Therefore, for this others half, you have to anyway get this shariras. And every time, though it is not by शंकर भगवान ने कहा नहीं, हम कह रहे थे कल हम मिलके कि in every body there is empty number of opportunities again for us, opportunities, occasions to become a karta and do the karma and add the agami karma again and again. In this life from birth till now, how many new ideas, new concepts, new relations, new activities we might have added to our own संचित. इवन टुडे सुबह से अब तक अपने संकल्पों से अपने संचित में कितने डाले होंगे अब. द वन ओनली हु इज एक्सक्लूसिवली स्पिरिचुअल ओरिएंटेड, डूइंग एवरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ साधना ओनली थ्रू आउट द डे, नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग, ही अलोन इज एस्केपिंग द आगामी. Others, all of us, every one of us have an imagination for future. Is it not? That itself is addition to Agami. There is no future to a Brahmagnani. Brahmagnani is transcended the time, no? How can you think that in present I'll do something so that tomorrow I'll have good happiness in future? That is not there in Tattva Chintanam. Tattva Chintanam, Tattvanubhuti is beyond Desha Kala Vastu. So therefore there will be no future imagination to him. If somebody is imagining future means is adding to Agami. That means throughout our life, how many new Agami we add, we don't know. That is not said here, but we are adding that. ये भी आप मन में रखना. So all in all, what is to be done? To become so conscious that these are the pravda I am going through, these are nitya I am doing, this is nishidda I am not doing, this is kama karma I am reducing. This is only half portion. Now I have to realize, get mukti. Mukti is only through Brahma Atma Ikya Bodha. That is done only Shravana Manana Nidhyasana. So consciously I am only doing that. So this becomes a complete picture. Consciously doing Shravana Manidhyasana, consciously getting through all these four types of karma, then you are a pakka matured person in understanding. And it's not only theory, practically, like I am doing this satsang. In this satsang, there is some prarabdha that I have to shout like this per day, so many hours, whether somebody listens or not. So I am going through this prarabdha. It is become a nitya karma to me because I have taken it along with other nitya. But consciously, I have to also take up this Brahma Vidya for my own personal Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. While giving to you lecture, I may avoid this also. Many people do that. बाकी लोगों को सत्संग करेंगे लेकिन खुद साधना नहीं करते. That it will give only some entertainment to you and the listener. It is not a sadhana at all. I must know it. Then accordingly, other than this karma of satsanga, etc., which has nothing to do with my own sadhana, I must take my Upanishad jnanam to my own heart, where I must assess, analyze what is the nature of the self, what is the nature of avidya, what is the nature of jiva bhava, that is happening in me. What are the upadhis, how I am identifying with them, I to get detached from the upadhi, how to slowly I have to involve in the Atma Vidya. As much as I get the Atma Vidya, the avidya goes away. Then that avidya's removal makes me qualified for dhyanam. In the dhyanam, I transcend all the koshas. As I am transcending them, I am reaching to my own experience of the self. ये मुझे करना है. That gives my mukti to me. To that, the Shastra, Shravanam, Manam gives a help. Therefore, I have taken up this work. Any other work would be not related to that. Therefore, it will not help. This will help me. Therefore, I have taken up. This is my personal point. I'm just sharing. But it has nothing to do with the realization of self. That's why I am Atma, Pravachanena, na Medaya, na Bahuna, Shrutena. All these are mind intellect's jobs. If you stuck up that level of benefit will come to you. Mukti will not come. Mukti is only Anubhavagamya. Only when I experience that I am that Atma which is Brahma, that I am freed from the Jivadi, Dehadi, Upadhi. Not otherwise. उसमें कोई compromise नहीं है, याद रखो. मुक्ति का दूसरा compromise नहीं है. ब्रह्मात्मा के बोध alone is giving mukti. Little lower than that, how much ever great jiva you are, as a Brahmadeva, Indradeva, you are still bound only. उसको कभी compromise नहीं करना इस knowledge को. So Bhagavan says here that nacha karma hetunam kamanam jnana abhave nivrutti asambhavat ashesha karma kshaya upapattihi. देखो, this another new thought. Now each of the thought removes some wrong notions which you hold on to. It adds to an information which is very essential. देखो, कुछ ज्ञान पहले के बेवकूफ़ी को निकालता है, कुछ ज्ञान आगे बेवकूफ होने से बचाता है. Is it not? Removes the earlier notions, protects from forming new notions. Knowledge. He says, karma hetunam kamanam. The desires which are the cause of karma, subsequently karma phala and lot of janma. So karma hetunam kamanam jnana abhave. When the Atma Jnana has not yet come, nivritya sambhavat, this kamana along with the kamana karma cannot be removed totally. Therefore, ashesha kshaya karma kshaya upati na. So without the jnana, all the karma kshaya will not happen. Remember, वही हम बता रहे थे. Only in the jnana, all the karma kshaya goes away, happens. विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथि ही सिद्धन्ते सर्व संशयाः क्षीयन्ते च अस्य कर्माणि कब तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावरे. When you know the truth. So कर्म हेतूनां कामानां ज्ञान अभावे निवृत्ति असंभवात् अशेक्ष कर्म क्षय उपपत्ति ज्ञानम विना न. That you have to add the na there and understand. This is very crucial thing. कर्म करते रहो तो उससे कर्म बढ़ेगा ही, घटेगा नहीं. Karma finally ghatega only in the jnana. Therefore also you have to aim at the jnana. Which jnana? Atma jnana. Otherwise it will have the recurring deposit effect. Only you have to close the account. Account is closed only by knowing the self. Again I am saying it. Without the jnana, karma kshaya is asambhava. Because one karma leads to other, other to lead, other to lead. Therefore, in this way also, withdrawing from the karma, which is yielding karmas again and again, withdrawing from that karma, you have to aim at the jnana. Which jnana? The Atma jnana. That Atma jnana is not there because of ajnana. Ajnana is removed by jnana. Jnana is given to us by Guru about our own nature of the self, you have to contemplate. All the mantras, whether it's a Mundaka Upanishad, will say, Yatad Adresham Agrahya Manogotram, or Nanta Pragnam Nabahish Pragnam of Mandukya, they're all telling about the Atma Vidya. That should remove the avidya of the Atma. Then Atma Anubhava comes after that. When the Vidya removes the avidya, then the Atma Anubhava comes. Means that Atma which is already there, I identify myself with that. Now I have avidya. I don't know what I am. Now Vidya will remove the avidya. Then what happens? Vidya Vidya chala jayega. I will experience myself. One kanta removes the other one. Both are thrown. You are healthy, painless. Like that. What we are doing now instead of Atma Vidya, we are getting the Jagat Vidya, which we are calling as Vidya, but it's only avidya actually. I am studying about the world, about the phenomena in the world. In that also I have categorized as names. So when I study that word, I say the astronomy. When I say astrology, zoology, geology, that knowledge, I am calling all of them as Shastra or the Vidya. But they are all about the Anatma only. That will never give you moksha. They're all Anatma Vidya. They only create Kamana. They'll bind you to the Kamya Karma. Then Janma Marana. You understand? Here about Atma Swarupa Vidya. What is my essential nature? All the words Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Nityam, Nirantaram, Akhandam, Ekam, Chaitanya Swarupam, Sarvavyapakam. These are all the Vidya of the Atma. By contemplating on that, our disbelief about our Atma we have to drop. Then this will not help. After removing the avidya, the vidya also is dropped. What remains is vidya means the intellectual knowledge. The intellectual knowledge की जरूरत नहीं रहने वाला अनुभव we enter into. What Atma Vidya does on the seat of contemplation is it removes the avidya of the Atma. It also dissolves. Then the Atma which is there is revealed. Revealed to whom? To me. I am that only. Revealed to itself. Both is correct. Now, न च कर्म हेतूनां कामानां ज्ञानाभावे निवृत्त्या संभवात् अशेष कर्मक्षयोपतिः. Now the next line is important. Anatmavidah hi kamaha. Only for the one who has not identified with the self and then identified the upadhi, that they will have the desire. Because anatma phala vishayatvat. Because any desire is about not self. This is a very important thought here. Pause. I'll explain 1 minute. Any desire will be only for something other than me. Because I cannot have desire for myself. How can I have desire for myself? Because I am. आत्मा का कामना नहीं हो सकता. आत्मा को जानने की इच्छा से आप जानोगे, लेकिन कामना नहीं हो सकता. क्योंकि that thing which is other than me, which is having difference from me, duality from me, taken that way, about that only I can have desire. But that which is me already, for that there is no desire. Therefore, we cannot have actually the Atma Kama ultimately. But the Atma Kama removes other Kamanas. Then the Atma Kamana makes me know the knowledge of the Atma. And that removes the Ajnana of the Atma. Then the Atma which is already there, that is realized. Like the mirror is already clean, always. But the dirt is covering the cleanliness. So you are sprinkling the water or a liquid or wiping it with cloth or paper, not making the mirror up clean. It is removing the dirt. Obviously, the clean mirror is seen. So by applying the chemicals or whatever and wiping, you are not creating cleanliness of the mirror. You are only removing the dirt. In the same way, by no sadhana, Atma is experienced. Because Atma is always there with us. That is what Adi Buddha, Adi Shantaha we studied in our Mandukya. Then the avidya, ignorance, which about the Atma is removed by the Vidya, in which Shravana Manana Nidyasana are done. These are all the things again and again, again and again when we listen, then we enter into the next level of understanding. रिपीटेडली अब समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं, कितने बार सुनना है, कितने बार विचार करने से ये ज्ञान दृढ़ होता रहता है. Now the next one is Swatmanija Kama Anupapatihi. There are two things always remember. Any desire you entertain is only about Anatma. Second, toward the Atma there cannot be desire. Why? Swatmanija Kama Anupapatihi? Because Nitya Praptatvat. The self in me cannot be the not self. It is always with me. It never become not self. Then how can I desire? Only it is covered by avidya. Avidya is removed. I am self is not created. Yad rakhna. By doing your Shravana Manana Nidhyasana, you are not creating the self like by adding all the cement bricks, you are making a building. Building is not there. You made all the basements, pillars, and all the building is constructed. In that way, Atma is not there. Then through Shravana Manana Nidhyasana, you are creating or building Atma. ऐसा नहीं है वो. Atma is always I am that. It is covered by ignorance. Removed the ignorance is removed by the knowledge. That is the says. So Atmani cha kama anupapatti vai nitya praptatvat. Then again, what was said in the earlier pair, I said, स्वयं च आत्मा परम ब्रह्म इति उक्तम. Already बताया पहले, बाद में बताएंगे. Why you have to add this sentence? Why is not stopping at the Atma level is only when the Atma is discovered and Atma is discovered to the Brahma, then the complete journey completes. Otherwise, what will like that? तो मैं तो अपने अंदर के आत्मा को पकड़ लिया, but I don't know about other fellows. ऐसा नहीं होता है. In every रूप नाम और जीव, what is there is Atma and that is me. That's called Brahma Atma Ekata Bodha. That alone is Mukti. Therefore, whenever he says Atma, immediately brings Brahma to complete the subject. And in this particular Upanishad also, more frequently used word is Brahma than the Atma. Though he uses Atma Atma word, but Brahma Vida Apnoti Param ityadi come. So what we are studying here is कि कर्म हेतूनाम कामानाम ज्ञान अभावे निवृत्ति असंभवात अशेष कर्म क्षय उपत्ति कभी हो ही नहीं सकता. Means what? One crucial thought. Only when the Atma Jnana is experienced that the final karma goes away. If that is not done, karma shesha remain and they have the breeding capacity to breed more and more. Therefore, in this case also, for you to exhaust entire karma, the only way is gaining the jnana. So, Atma Jnanam is to be aimed at, to remove the karma. And to aim at Atma Jnana, the extra karma you have to keep on dropping. You cannot give up all the karma. Some of them have to exhaust through prarabdha, etc. Allow it to happen. And as a part of prarabdha, you may have next life different prarabdhas. Aane do usko bhi jaane do. That's why I tell you, don't misunderstand it. Some people, right from beginning, they want to know the truth, they want to do sadhana. But throughout life, they are not given any chance on. They are so much caught up in their own grasta, ashrama dharma, in their own children, grandchildren. Though they are sincere in wanting to know the truth. और उनके अंदर का जो pain, दुख है, none of us understand. We are little better that we are given an opportunity. We have nothing to do. We only with our bewakuf mind, we only involve in the world. But there are many thousands jivas are there. Why with so much of desire to know truth, they are not able to do? That's called prarabdha. They have to exhaust all that. If they don't know this principle, then they get frustrated. When they know it, then they understand. When the prarabdha khatam ho jayega, then the prarabdha is like the railway level crossing पे गेट लगा है कि आप उस तरफ जाना चाहते हो पर ट्रेन जा रही है. ट्रेन चला गया तो गेट निकला तो आगे चलो. In our prarabdha, if for 10 lives, not even one guru thought of Paramatma is to be allowed to entertain, I may not do it also. If the prarabdha is so strong. Okay? But at the same time, Purushartha that I want to know the truth for get liberation, and for that I must go to the Guru. This Sankalpa entertainment is a Purushartha which we have to do. Now, along with Sankalpa or because earlier Sankalpa, if I get an opportunity to listen to the Guru or find a time with myself to study Shastra, उस समय शास्त्र पढ़ना गुरु को सुनने वाला पुरुषार्थ जरूर करना है. That is what is there. Here what is stressed upon is prayatna both to exhaust the prarabdha, prayatna to not involve the new prarabdha, prayatna also for knowing the self through the spiritual practice of Shravana Manana Nidhyasana. In this Upanishad, in this introductory Bhashya, in all these aspects, the effort की जरूरत है, वो एक भगवान यहाँ stress कर रहे हैं. What two things we have to understand is, by not doing anything is not gained, and also by doing but not doing rightly also nothing is gained. You have to do rightly. That maturity is given in this introduction bhashya. नहीं करे तो भी नहीं होगा, गलत करे तो भी नहीं होगा, फिर करने से ही होगा और सही करने से होगा. And that sahi karne mein, you have to divide these two aspects and understand and practice. One aspect of going to the Guru and listening Vedanta and doing contemplation is one aspect. Another aspect of all the Sanchita Agami Prarabdha Karma management. And both of them with the knowledge given by the Shastra. Shastra only will tell us about Atma is Brahma, Atma is Sachidananda, Atma is explained the Dhyana. For Dhyana, you have to do contemplation. This is the nature of Atma. Shastra only tells this. Another part, Shastra only tells why you have these kind of Sanchita karmas which have come as Prarabdha now. You have to exhaust them. While doing so, avoid the Nitya, Nishiddha karma, avoid the Kamya karma, and whatever the karma you are doing, the follow you offer to the Lord, convert as Karma Yoga. And for doing so, you have to be disciplined. Therefore, bring your yoga sadhana to discipline the faculties. Then, whenever you have the fear, anything, to avoid the fear, to have the faith, you see, take the Ishwar ko mano, I have a bhakti for them. So, to the help of bhakti and yoga, you have to go on managing this department of the Sanchita karma, Agami karma, Prarabdha karma, ityad. Agami, don't allow it to come. Okay, Sanchita, right now, don't be worried about. Prarabdha, go through that. Is it not? Then while doing so, your bhakti, karma, jnana should, bhakti and Ashtanga yoga should help you in disciplining the faculties. All this is one side is happening. Other side is studying the Upanishad, contemplating on the truth as told in the Upanishad. All of us are doing this only. What I am saying is not new. What is said is that which we are doing but not aware. We are brought into awareness. When you become aware of what you are doing, then you do it more professionally, more disciplinedly. Oh, that means Swamiji, this is my Nitya Karma, this is my Prarabdha Karma. Swamiji, you are our Prarabdha? Yeah. There should be pakka. Means when the Antakarna is Shuddha, with Upasana, when we have the blessing of Guru and God, we will exactly know what is Prarabdha chal raha hai, what Nitya chal raha hai. उसमें कौन सा ड्यूटी है ड्यूटी नहीं है कौन सी चीज़ों को मैं अवॉइड करके आई कैन गो फॉर माई स्टडी all that is so conspicuous and clear and undoubted if we are in Shuddha Antakarana blessed by Guru and God when we are his devotees. इसलिए भक्त बनकर उनके कृपा से अंतःकरण को सत्वगुण बना के क्या करना क्या नहीं करना उस अवेयरनेस में रहते हुए जो नहीं करना छोड़ के जो करना है करते हुए जो पाना है उसको पाना है दैट इज स्पिरिचुअलिटी and is nowhere there is ambiguity, there is nowhere there is vagueness, there is nowhere there is no non clarity. Everything is crystal clear, pakka, systematic, well understood, well planned, well executed. Spirituality is the highly planned science. It is a science and very highly planned. It is not a vague. It's vague because we have not understood its clarity. कभी जप किया, कभी पूजा किया, कभी क्लास में गए. This is all nautanki done by an immature person, amateur. But a professional person, every sadhana he knows what he's doing. When he knows that that sadhana's phala is achieved, he drops that one and takes the next one. There's no fear, no hesitation, no attachment. खत्म हो गया जब कर लिया मैंने नाउ माई माइंड हैज बीन एकाग्र नो मोर ऑफ जपा माई नाउ जॉब इज ओनली चिंतनम चिंतनम हाँ इन बिटवीन वंस इन अ while due to प्रारब्ध mind is disturbed I come back and do some japa but I have trans he is very clear about it and it's not a laziness that you gave up japa because you want to study Vedanta जब भी छोड़ दी क्लास भी बंद कर दी खा के सो गए that मूर्खता is also not allowed. That's a danger. That's why I don't stop my classes. If I say that I understood the truth, therefore I can stop classes, or people also have understood, or nobody is interested. If I leave the class, will I meditate or not? I don't know. I'm afraid. Therefore, जो भी हो जाए पहले करो. At least the time is useless. I cannot take my mind also for granted. No, is it not? Because ये ऊपर चढ़ना जितना मुश्किल होता है, फिसलना इतना आसान होता है. It's very risky. I should not share. You will be afraid, but it's a fact. That little slip happens, again to climb like an ant, how difficultly it goes up, but it slips so fast, again to go up it is so difficult. See, like if I stop classes, again to get the mood of starting classes, myself studying and getting the clarity and requesting, begging you people to come and gather you, it is an impossible fact thing. Because some of you, for some reason or other, stopping coming, stop to come, and again not joining only. You are caught up in your own other routine. It appears very important to you. फिर से आपको पकड़ के लाना इम्पॉसिबल है इसलिए जितना हो सके आप करते जाओ. I'm just telling how we have to use our mind and intellect with right understanding and apply that right understanding to be consistently on the path of our swadhyaya mananam chintanam along with managing other things. Managing the nitya naimittikadi karma. Okay. Now, one more logical explanation is given. Nityanam cha akaranam abhavaha. A new topic is discussed by Siddhanti Shankara Bhagwan. I'll just explain to you a little of it. Remaining we'll see tomorrow. Even myself also want to understand these topics exhaustively. इसलिए मैं कल का आज भी repeat किया. Like in the Bhagavad also we are doing, because this is so crucial thing for me to understand practice also as much as to you also. इसलिए थोड़ा रुकना है तो रुक लो, लेकिन जरूर है अच्छी तरह समझना. जरूरत है तो रुकना ही पड़ेगा. So nityanam cha akaranam abhavaha. So when the nitya karma is not done, there is an abhava created. Not doing is an abhava. Now tataha pratyavaya anupapattihi. Now pratyavaya is a bhavatmaka dosha. How can the pratyavaya bhavatmaka can come out of the abhava, which is nitya karanam? A new topic it is. Then what? Iti ataha, therefore, listen carefully. Purva upachita duritebhyaha prapyamanayaha pratyavaya kriyayaha nitya akaranam lakshanam iti. Very, very subtle thought it is. I'll read it for you again. Purva upachita, past collected, duritebhyaha, of the duritas, the papa, prapyamanayaha, from that gained is pratyavaya kriyayaha, nitya akaranam lakshanamiti. Is a very, very interesting thing where a misunderstanding can also happen out of it. A great quality called also surrender also can happen in it. But it all depends on the purity of intention. कोई भी ज्ञान आप गलत यूज करना चाहते हो ना, यूज कर सकते हो गलत, फिर उसका गलत ही रिजल्ट होगा. We have to be very honest in this world, whether we are in knowledge or ignorance, whether in devotion or individuality. That alone finally protects us. That's called as straightforwardness, rujutva. थोड़ा अनरुजु बन गया तो your own ज्ञान you will misuse. Your own good qualities you will misuse. That's what yesterday exhaustively we discussed in Ramayana about Ravana and all. He has done such a great tapasya for a wrong cause, therefore he had to get destroyed. याद रखना. So what is the point here? He said कि नित्य कर्म है, you have not done. When you have not done nitya karma, it comes a pratyavaya dosha. That was said. Now that is refuted by the Guru only himself. He says, Nitya akaranam, not doing, is an abhava. How can it lead to the pratyavaya dosha? No. Then what is exactly happening? Nitya akaranam is leading to pratyavaya dosha, not become Nitya akaranam. Then why the Nitya akaranam has happened is analyzing. He is saying, in your own past, some durita sanchay is done, in which inherently there is a force because of which the Nitya is not allowed to be done. So it is not in your hand sometimes. पूर्व उपचित दुरितेभ्यः प्राप्यमाणायाः प्रत्यवाय क्रियायाः नित्य अकरणं लक्षणम् इति. पूर्व उपचित प्रत्यवाय प्राप्यमाण पूर्व उपचित दुरितेभ्यः प्राप्यमाणायाः प्रत्यवाय क्रियायाः. Past you have collected by doing some durita, some papa, which is forcing you here of a pratyavaya, because of which you are not able to do the nitya karma. Iti. In this way, ataha ayatnatah swa atmani, one word, अन्यथा अभावात् भाव उत्पत्तिः इति सर्व प्रमाण व्याकोपः इति. अतः अयत्नतः स्वात्मनि अवस्थानमिति अनुपपन्नम. So main point is what? The swatma avasthana will not happen without yatna. We have to do only. जस्ट डोंट थिंक दैट ये कर्म को मैं निपट लूंगा, अपने आप आत्मा मिलता है, ऐसा मत समझो. दैट्स हाउ गुरु उपसादनम, गुरु सेवा, श्रवणम एंड ऑल ऑफ देम हैव, सी वी आर डूइंग इट फ्रॉम 2 years. Even then the clarity has not come to us. Then how can one imagine that without doing even this also the Atma will happen? Just like in the world, I will become Sukhi by getting this and that is an illusion. So too, without doing any sadhana, someday something will happen and I get Atma and become Moksha. Mukta is also an illusion. Our Shastras are ruthless in these facts or the truths. They don't compromise, they don't give any lenience or chance. पक्का जो है सो है, बस वही बता देते. So clearly says, इति अतः आयत्नतः स्व आत्मन्यवस्थानमिति अनुपपन्नम. Without effort, you establish in the self is not possible. There are two things. Self is eternally is there. That is eternal. That is effortless when you reach it. But from the place where I am here at the Jiva Deha Bhava, to reach to that, I have to put the effort of Sravana Manam Nididhyasana. So my means what? Where we are missing, that we are adding now. I have to consciously decide and put effort to come to the class. That is what my Purusharth. Coming to the class accidentally will not happen. If it accidentally happen, it will accidentally end also. Then there is no sadhana. It's all prarabdha then. सत्संग प्रारब्ध से नहीं होता है. सत्संग पुरुषार्थ से करना पड़ता है. प्रारब्ध से सत्संग मिलता है. You are born at such a time, you are living in such a place, you are in such a facility that their satsang is accessible to you. That's prarabdha. But consciously reaching there is your purusharth. ये अपने आप नहीं होता. You have to. Same way, after listening to the thought in the class, doing the mananam of it also doesn't happen automatically. उसको भी कॉन्शियसली करना पड़ता है कि आज मैंने ये सुना तो इसका अर्थ ये है. दिस इज पुरुषार्थ. ये अपने आप नहीं होता. वो कोई गाली दवाई वगैरह नहीं होता है उसका. डोंट इमेजिन कि गॉड विल ब्लेस एंड समथिंग विल हैपन. More than this, God will not do. When you start doing, then He will bless in trying to make you understand. खुद करने का हमको लेना पड़ता है हाथ में. What is the highest grace of God? That I have to do my sadhana. When you decide, that's the grace of God. It is not that way. मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगा, भगवान ही सब कुछ करेंगे. It is not His grace. It's of my मूर्खता. If He does everything, like every ball is given for a 6 hitting, it is not a match then. Then everybody would have realized then. You have to do your purusha. So too the nididhyasanam. It will not happen by itself. खुद करना है. But आत्मा अनुभूति, when it happens, then it is effortless. It is I am that now. वो खोएगा नहीं उसके बाद. वो जाएगा नहीं कहीं भी. You are in that. Now, यच्च उक्तम निरित्य प्रीते स्वर्ग शब्द वाचा कर्मनिमित्तत्वात् कर्मारब्धेव मोक्ष चेत तत् न. Today's class, what we studied yesterday, same thing is repeated for more clarity. Here, another question which was raised by Purvapakshi said, for me the moksha is Swarga and Sarga comes to karma. Through that karma which leads to Swarga, I want to attain moksha. What is your objection? That is what it says. Ki yacha uktam, which I said to you, Guru, niritishaya pritehe, the eternally loved thing by everyone, Swarga Shabda Vachyayaha, what is named as Swarga, which is moksha for me, Swarga Sukha. Karma nimittatvad, it is achieved through karma. So karma arabdha eva moksha iti chet, then I'll do that karma and get moksha if you say. It is such a funny thing, He is only defining Swarga as moksha and he is saying that this karma if I do, I get moksha because I get Swarga. वो अपने में कुकुंड होते हैं लोग. It is a humorous way of saying that how we define our happiness and we act for it and we only decide that I am happy. Though you are miserable inside. हॉट कॉफी वी ऑर्डर वी ड्रिंक एंड फ्रेंड से अरे कैसा था. उसको खुश करने के लिए हम कहते हैं बहुत बढ़िया, लेकिन अंदर जल रहा है वो. इज इट नॉट. द अदर जलन इज व्हाट, घर में बना कॉफी 15 रुपए, ये कैफे कॉफी में तो 150 रुपए. वो वाला जलन अंदर हो रहा है, लेकिन बाहर दे यार पैसे ज्यादा लग भी गया लेकिन बहुत अच्छा लगा. देन उसको बोलो फिर हर दिन आओगे क्या? कभी नहीं. इट्स सो कॉस्टली. If it is such a moksha, Ananda, you should every day go to coffee, na? No, because he's feeling the pain inside, feeling the pain. He doesn't express it. He only defined happiness of the coffee and he only went there and he is only suppressing the dukkha inside. So to this moksha kami, through the swarga prapti, he is only in a delusion imagination. And that fellow will never do punya karma, he'll never go to moksha. After swarga is on defined, he's only talking for the argument's sake. Like most of us talk to the gurus just to shut them mouth. There's nothing to, topic is not there. किसी का मुंह बंद करने के लिए हम आर्ग्यू करते हैं, कुछ करने का होता नहीं. This is how also, but even if somebody is genuine, how to answer him? Answer is what? Nityatvad mokshasya nahi nityam kinchid arabhyate loke yad arabdam tada nityamiti atha na karma arabdha moksha. What a beautiful way in 4 sentences. Very clearly, he has proved that this varga is not moksha. Why? Because moksha is permanent experience. Swarga is started with your punya karma. When the punya ends, it also ends. It is not nitya. See, there are two things. Moksha is nitya. Second is what? Nitya alone should be the moksha. Otherwise, if it is not eternal, again you are bound. Moksha inherently should have nityata in that. Think about it as a homework. मोक्षा इज नित्य है तभी वो मोक्ष होगा ना. अदरवाइज 4 दिन के बाद फिर अंदर डाल रहे हैं तो हाउ कैन यू कॉल इट एज मोक्ष? You will not even have that joy also inside of this moksha of 3 days because you will be feared कि fourth day I will be put inside. Like the children during between 2 academic years, they are in a moksha of not needed to go to school. But that moksha, though they are enjoying, but that's not eternal bliss. Why? Because after the summer over, again he'll have to join the school. It is a bandhanam. But जिसने पढ़ाई ही छोड़ दिया, he is moksha. He need not to go to school at all again. That is real moksha actually. Not in between 2 academic years. In the same way, moksha nitya होना चाहिए, नित्य ही मोक्ष हो सकता है. Now there's another thing. Nitya is only Atma. Therefore, Atma alone is moksha swarup. Who goes to the Swarga? Jiva goes. Why? Because he was not there. Atma doesn't go anywhere because he's everywhere there. Interesting thinking. That's an imagination. Actually, better conditions are there for your Sukha Bhoga for which you have paid the payment called as Punya. And the Maya is what यहाँ तुम इधर 2 करोड़ किलो वाला पुण्य भी करो उसमें उतना इक्वलेंट सुख मिलेगा स्वर्ग में बट ये भी घटता जाएगा ना when you spend it one day it is over you're back to square one. There are few crucial things to discuss. We'll touch upon them tomorrow. Sarvam Sadguru Charanarvindarpanam Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarashibhyo Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Namo Namaha Om Yagnavalkya Rishe Namaha Vaishampayana Rishe Namo Namaha Om 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 Om. Thank you, friends. Just 10 minutes. Give me for our 1 or 2 mantras of Vidura Niti also.